And the money me love so much, why this and I jump up and just to dance and music make the vibes come up. And the money me love so much, why this and I jump up and...
Do you plan to retire from making films?
Incredibly Strange Film Show will continue.
Reality, and I write songs that have nothing to do with reality.
Free for 15 days. Keep it for the...
A couple of excellent musicians in there, one by the name of Bob Grady and another by the name of Jamie Lee Scott. I don't know what they're doing now, but those songs were written with the bridge. Luke and I being members of that band, and the only ones that are in a band right now, feel that we can use the material, and you know, it seems to be working out. The parts that we wrote, you know, 5 years ago, you know, are cleaning up and getting better all the time. So it's getting a lot tighter. Really good music.
Glenn Redman.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Orange County Guitar Show, where we come to the guitar show, and it happens every year, and we're going to look at some unique and vintage guitars. So, why don't you follow me on inside, and we'll take a look. Hundreds enjoyed the guitar show this weekend, including guitar enthusiasts, collectors, buyers, and sellers from all over the country. Some of the guitars fetching prices well above most budgets, some upwards of $18,000. We asked some guitar dealers what they felt were some of the most unique guitars at the guitar show.
Some of the guitars that come from my collection that I'm displaying at the show today. This particular guitar is made by Fender. It's called a Jazzmaster, and it's particularly unusual because of its color that Fender added to this guitar in 1961. It's called Tahitian Coral. Some people also call it salmon pink or coral pink. Its real name is a Tahitian Coral, which is inscribed underneath the pickguard in pencil on the body of the guitar. It was made in 1961, and this guitar is in virtually unplayed condition, both back and sides, with no buckle wear of any kind to speak of. Another very unusual guitar that Fender made is this 1964 Lake Placid Blue Stratocaster. It's an original color, a deep blue color that they added to the Stratocaster. And this also has virtually no playing wear, considering the fact that it's almost 30 years old. It's been kept very well. The last guitar I'd like to show you is probably the most historical guitar in the show here today and in my collection. And this is a Martin guitar that was made in 1929. Gosh, that must date it as over almost plus 60 years old. This was a prototype guitar made by Martin. All guitars made by Martin before this year, the body and the fret met at the 12th fret. And that's important to know because in 1929 they experimented with a 14 fret scale for the first time, which since that year has become industry standard for every single acoustic guitar made. They're all at the 14th fret. And before that, the body and the neck met at the 12th fret. So this was a prototype guitar that they made in 29.
And we build several varieties of instruments. This one's an electric acoustic guitar. They're all neck through, 24 frets, hollow. The flick of a switch, it'll sound like an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. So you get all the combinations of tone without having to change instruments, which gives you a real advantage. It's all hand built. Everything's done by hand.
And came to the show to replenish my inventory in my shop. And some of the instruments that I purchased at the show are a 1958 6119 Gretsch. I also purchased a 1976 White Falcon that has a single cutaway. It's a rare guitar because they only made them for about 4 or 5 years in the 70s. It's a clean example, original, and an original 50s example are selling between $7,000-8,000 up to as much as $15,000 to $20,000, so it's a reasonable price for a 70s instrument. Other instruments that I've purchased at the show are an early 80s reissue Carina Flying V that has a custom white finish. Most people want the natural finish because it was reminiscent of the 50s, but that is a custom finish instrument that is sort of rare, and in the future I think it'll be quite an interesting collectible item. Some of the guitars that I have up here, I like archtops a lot. They're very, very good selling instruments. They're rapidly increasing in price. The one in the middle is a 1960 Switchmaster, which is a very, very desirable instrument, and it's not even a spruce instrument. It's a maple ply guitar, but it's a very desirable instrument because it has 3 patent applied for pickups that are the best pickups that Gibson ever made.
The guitar show is a great opportunity for musicians to get a little hands-on experience. But be sure to catch next year's 4th Annual Orlando International Guitar Show.